back to another video. My name is Jill and today I'm going to be recommending some books to get you out of a reading slump. So let's get started. I decided I wanted to do this video today because this is by far my most asked question to me. People are asking like, oh, recommend me a book to get me out of a reading slump and all that kind of good stuff. Now before I get into the recommendations, I just want to give a little bit of disclaimer and say that everyone is different. Everyone is in a reading slump for a different reason at a different time, and everyone is going to be different. So I'm not saying that if you read one of these books that you are 100% going to be out of your reading slump. I'm not saying if you read all of the books that I recommend that you're going to be out of your reading slump. These are just some of my go-to recommendations when people ask me that question, but just know that if you are in a reading slump, my number one piece of advice is just to sort of feel yourself out and determine what you personally want to read. Now for me, when I'm in a reading slump, I really want something really quick, really fast, and really fun. I don't want to read a huge, long, epic fantasy series. I don't want to read something that's going to bore me or something that I don't really like, and so I really like quick, action-packed books. Again, that might not be you. Maybe if you're in a reading slump and the thing to get you out of it is a really slow-burning high fantasy. This is just some books that personally have gotten me out of reading slumps. One of my go-to recommendations for this is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I love recommending this book to people who are in reading slumps because it isn't a full novel. I say that because this entire thing is told in files and emails and pictures, and so you're not even reading a complete book. You're like basically looking at pictures, and this is one of the most epic books that I have ever read in my entire life. It's a sci-fi book, and I love it, and even if you don't like sci-fi, I feel like you could get a lot out of it. It reminds me a lot of Star Wars, kind of, in some aspects, especially like the space battle kind of things, and I just love it so much. The characters are great, the science in this is amazing, and it's just overall so action-packed, and it blows my mind every single time. I just read the second book recently, and holy shit. If you haven't read these books yet and you're in a reading slump, I would highly recommend because they're just so fun, so quick, so action-packed, so hopefully they will help you get out of your reading slump. Next up, I have another go-to recommendation, and that was the Darker Shade of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. The reason that I include this in my list of books to get you out of a reading slump is that the chapters are extremely short. Now again, this is another thing for me, to where I really like things to go by quickly if I'm in a reading slump. And so these chapters are only a couple pages long, so you feel like you're getting through it much quicker. And plus, this entire series is, again, fun, fast, action-packed, has amazing characters, amazing dynamic, and again, it sort of never stops, like, especially the second and third book. Like, you're just going the entire time that you are reading these books. So I just really like that aspect of these things. It basically follows a guy named Kel, and he is one of the two people who can travel in between these parallel Londons, and there are 4 parallel Londons, and one is extremely magical, and that's where Kel is from, and he basically is a messenger, and he travels to all the different Londons, and they all have different properties. It also follows a badass girl pirate named Lila Bard, and all these other amazing ass characters, and I love this series with all my heart. Next up, I have, sort of on the opposite side of that, I have a really cute contemporary that I think would be really good to help people get out of reading slumps, and that was Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I talk about this book so much on my channel, but again, this book is super short, and so it goes by really quickly, and the chapters are pretty short too. Like, they're not super short, but they're kind of short, and again, this is just a really cute YA contemporary novel following a boy named Simon, and he is gay, and this other boy hacks into his email kind of thing, and then finds that he's messaging this other boy, and he basically blackmails him and says that he'll reveal these emails and reveal that Simon's gay if he doesn't do what he wants, and overall it's so cute, and it's becoming a movie, and it honestly warms my heart so much. I just want to reread it because I love it that much, and I just feel like this is such a quick, cute read that it will definitely help you get out of a reading slump. Next up, I have The Six of Crows Zoology by Leigh Bardugo, another fantasy, fast, epic, amazing characters, freaking non-stop book. I love this series. If you haven't been around long, hi, I love this series with all of my little soul. Like I said, it's like a multi-perspective novel, and it just goes by so quickly, and it follows such badass characters, and it's a heist novel following these 6 outcasts, and they basically are set with this task of breaking into this fortress that has never been broken into, and guys, it's so fantastic. If you haven't read it yet, just please read it. Even if you're not in a reading slump, just you got to, okay? It's so good. And next up, I have a new recommendation that now I'm going to be recommending to everyone who asks me books to get out of a reading slump, and that is any book by Colleen Hoover. This just might be me, but I don't think it's solely me because I've heard some people react this way too. But when I start one of Colleen's books, I cannot put it down. Literally, I read throughout the night. Like, if I start it at midnight, I will read this book until I finish it. I cannot stop reading. And so far, I've read 3 of her books. I'm hopefully going to be reading many more in the future. And they are new adult contemporary novels, so they are on the older side. So definitely, if you are on the younger side, don't check these out because they do have explicit content in them. Whenever I feel myself, like after I read Lord of Shadows and I just felt myself going down into the abyss of a reading slump, I picked up one of Colleen Hoover's books instantly over my reading slump. So definitely, if you are looking for a contemporary way to get out of a reading slump, definitely these books. I love them so much. So the final recommendation that I have is an extremely recent one, and I was debating on whether or not to put this book on the list at all, but I just decided, hey, why the hell not? And that was The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I talk about this book all the time on my channel, and I pitched this book as Simon Verses, again I just mentioned Simon Verses, set in the 1700s following a bisexual main character, and this book is so fun. That's why I think it would be perfect for someone in a reading slump. It's so funny, it is so fun, it's just so hilarious, and the characters are fantastic, and it is a pretty long book, okay? So it's not extremely short, it's not extremely quick, but I just think that it would be really good if you want something really fun and with amazing characters and an amazing storyline and just everything amazing. I love this book. I think that's going to be about it. Those were just a couple recommendations I have for anyone who is going through a reading slump. Let me know if you guys want me to do a full video about reading slumps, because I mostly just did recommendations in this video, but I also have some tips about like time management and like stuff like that, so let me know if you want me to do a video like that. So if you are in a reading slump, I hope maybe one of these books might help you, and again, you know, it's just all up to you engaging what you really want to read and all that kind of good stuff, so don't take this list 100% to heart. These are just some of my favorite books to get me out of a reading slump. This video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new here, and I have all my social media linked down below in the description if you want to follow me on those platforms. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys later in another video. Bye bye bye!